Minnesota just 1 point back of Chicago in the Central Division for the lead there. So two upper echelon teams going head-to-head for the first time in their season series.
Absolutely. This is a measuring stick game for both teams. You've got the defending Western Conference champion San Jose Sharks, and right now the hottest team in the Western Conference, the Wild.
Tierney can't control at his own blue line. Charlie Coyle couldn't get in. Now it's back to center, but Joel Ward can't control. Mirco Mueller back on defense again tonight, along with Dylan DeMello, and we'll get to the lineups momentarily. We can tell you that earlier today, Matt Nieto, the former second-round draft pick of the Sharks, was claimed off waivers by the Colorado Avalanche. So he is no longer with the Sharks, and we wish Matt Nieto all the best in Colorado, where he'll certainly get a chance to play. Only appeared in 16 games this year. Ice as Matt Dumba works it back across for Brodin. Here's Stewart sending it in. Stewart with 7 goals on the year. And of course playing that gritty style as well.
Yeah, he's a streaky player. Got a couple of goals in the last 3 games.
There's a shot by Niederreiter that goes off the post as Jones gets a little lucky, just like Dubnyk did down at the other end. Now Tommy Wingels back in the lineup, challenging Dumba. Wingels trying to get it with one hand behind his back there with the puck a little past him. And Niederreiter can't clear it. There's a shot by DeMello. That one hit Patrick Marleau. In the corner, Eric Holla for Minnesota. Behind the net, a big hit on Dumba. DeMello steps up. Couldn't get to the puck, but he slowed down the forward Niederreiter, and Marlowe's back on it.
Absolutely, and a great read right there by DeMello. He realizes that Marleau is covering.
Hands it off to Donskoy. He'll pull back for a shot, and on the rebound, 2 saves for Dubnyk. As Logan Couture with a quality second chance there. Third shot of the night for the San Jose Sharks. As DeMello brings it up ice. Out of the lineup for the Sharks tonight, David Schlemko shaken up a couple of games ago. Marc-Edouard Vlasic still out of the lineup for a 3rd game now after that facial injury when he took a puck in the face against Philadelphia. And Mikkel Boedker scratched for the first time this season tonight. He is not injured as it's flipped in by Chris Stewart. So DeBoer, as we are just a couple games away from the halfway point of the season, sending messages, making changes, trying to get the offense going. Carlson's shot, Dubnyk the save. And last year with Phoenix and Colorado, Mikkel had 51 points, tying a career high, including 17 goals. But he's stuck on 2 goals, hasn't scored for a while. And he watches tonight from the press box.
Pete said he liked his games, a bunch of his games, before Christmas, and it wasn't about the scoring. It was about just the way he played. Because he knows our system now. We're almost at the halfway mark of the year.
Tierney, and he wanted Ward, gets by him to Mirco Mueller. Marleau tees it up. That's saved by Dubnyk. Charlie Coyle playing on the wing for Minnesota now, where he is enjoying the best start to his career. Drafted by the Sharks as a centerman, and the Wild used him there too. But now that he's on the wing, he's really blossomed.
Yeah, he and Mikkel Granlund. Granlund was
62 hits in those 25 prior games for Haley.
Tommy Wingels back in the lineup, playing center for the 4th line. Marco Carlson slides over to the right side.
It's a good shift for that line. Here's DeMello. Meier posted up front of the net, but the puck went into the corner. Now Pavelski keeps it in, and Timo Meier gets right back on it. Big hit on Dumba, but he got through it and is able to play the puck. Now Pavelski challenging Coyle. Big Charlie Coyle tosses it back into the corner. Now he gets it on the wing. Here's Coyle into Sharks territory against DeMello. Tries to center. It's blocked by Mueller. And Meier back behind the goal line, trying to find Thornton in the neutral zone. Sharks will get a quick line change here as Brodin puts it wide. Mueller, and now Tierney, as the Sharks are still contending without 2 of their top 6 in Sunday back-to-back after this.
That'll be an emotional game for the team on Sunday when Bruce Boudreau heads back to his old stomping grounds to play the Anaheim Ducks.
Interestingly, it's the 2nd straight year Boudreau has coached his team to a long streak, The Wild had a 12-game win streak that just ended New Year's Eve. Last year, you'll recall, Anaheim had that tough start, but then up defenseman Tim Heed from the Barracuda. Not in the lineup tonight, but on the roster.
Yeah, well deserved. He had a couple of goals in the Barracuda win last night, a couple of bombs from the point. So.
Nino Niederreiter, number 22 for Minnesota, couldn't catch the pass in the neutral zone. Now Marco Scandella across for Nate Prosser. Thornton intercepts. He'll send it to DeMello's way, who pinches from the right point. Now Thornton from Timo Meier. Thornton checked by Spurgeon. Back for DeMello. Shot just wide. Meier trying to get a tip. Coyle clears it.
The Sharks did a good job of reversing the puck from one side of the rink to the other in the offensive zone. A pretty decent shift from the Wild, but it did allow DeMello to get a shot on net that created a scoring chance. A couple good battles in front of the net, too, in front of Dubnyk.
Prosser. Now the Wild come ahead with under a minute to go. Pass by Graberak for Pominville, and it pops out to Wingels. Carlson from center to Tommy Wingels. He's got Haley, the one-timer wide. DeMello works it.
Minutes. There's no score between the Sharks and Wild. Defenseman Mirco Mueller, 21 years old, from Switzerland. He was the 18th overall pick in 2013, and he is with our Jamie Baker. Boys.
Before I address tonight's game, Mirco, with the San Jose Barracuda here in town, how does it help guys when they're in the American Hockey League, being in San Jose, right where the big team is?
No, it's obviously huge. I mean, you don't miss any days of practice, traveling, and not any games. I mean, you could be playing here tonight and play there tomorrow and get the most playing time in as possible. So it's obviously great.
I thought you looked really comfortable that period. Your gap control is good positioning in the defensive zone. What have you liked about your game this year?
Yeah, like you said, I think I'm pretty happy with my skating this year compared to last year. I think I took another step, just being more confident and more comfortable. I think stepping up on guys when the time's right, but also kind of know when to stay back.
About the trust factor with players, because you're not familiar with playing with all these guys. You've watched them, you play with them a little bit in the past, but from pinching or even plays in the defensive zone where the switches are, how do you adapt so quickly with the new teammates?
Yeah, like you said, I've played a couple of games before. I think that obviously helps. Just kind of keeping the nerves calm. In the end, it's just another hockey game, really. There's obviously a bit more people here, I think, than there are with the Barracuda, but you just got to be able to block that out, I think, and yeah, just rely on your capabilities. Good job in the first. Good luck the rest of the way. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks, Jamie.
And USA wins the World Juniors. Congratulations.
Great tournament, some great games, and it bodes well for the future of professional hockey everywhere, and most importantly in the National Hockey League, where many of those players will end up one day, some sooner than later.
As a Canadian, I'm disappointed Canada didn't win, but when the U.S. wins, like, oh, it's good for the game of hockey. Get some growth here in the U.S.
Jonas Brodin now for Minnesota. Sharks and Wild meeting for the first time this season, the only time on San Jose ice, where no score, alive in the second period. Here at SAP Center as the Sharks play their second game of a 3-game homestand with the Red Wings here on Saturday. Holla for Minnesota, and a nice defensive play by Mirco Mueller. Detroit put a 3 spot on LA in the first period. Thomas Vanek had a couple of goals. We'll see him Saturday night. Carlson bumps it for Wingels out front for Haley. Dubnyk to save. Another chance for Carlson, and Dubnyk pushed across hard. DeMello, and that'll deflect wide. Wingels keeps it going. Now Carlson back for Wingels, swings it around, a wrap try. Haley crashes the crease. Off the face-off, Ryan Suter. Niederreiter can't catch it. DeMello punches it right back in. Dubnyk scampering off his goal line to set it up for Suter again behind the net. And now Wingels bumps it back in off the glass. Spurgeon. And Niederreiter at center, but a nice subtle little play by DeMello just to knock it off the. There's a one-timer by Couture, and that's just wide. Coyle, Brodin, and broken up again. Sharks nice neutral zone play, and here they come. It's LeBanc, drops for Donskoy, and a poke check by Dubnyk, broke it up.
Oh, what a poke check, but how about that drop pass from LeBanc? And I think he just got high sticked in the face, either that or a puck, but he's heading off to the bench. No call from the referees.
We'll try and track that down and show it to you as LeBanc gets some attention on the Sharks bench from the training staff. Martin angles across. Coyle and Niederreiter. Sandwich job there as Mirco Mueller with a good first step explodes to the puck, gets it up ice at center to Wingles. Coyle back down the boards, and that's broken up.
Good call there, Randy. You call about Mirco just taking that explosive stride to go get the puck. That's attacking the game. He's playing with a lot of confidence here. Just his second game up with the big team.
Paul Martin and the Sharks head to the third period with the lead. This is the same scenario, Jamie, that the Sharks had going for them the other night against Los Angeles. A lead heading into the third, but as it turned out, the second time, two teams that know how to take a lead into the third period. We'll see who emerges with 2 points here tonight in this first of 3 meetings this season. It's been a toughly contested game here, Sharks and Wild, as Minnesota's streak ended New Year's Eve. Trying to start a new one, as are the Sharks. Dylan DeMello. He's checked by Chris Stewart. And now Mirco Mueller dishing to Joe. Now DeMello stops it, drives it deep again. Wingles there. So is Carlson. Crosser working Carlson hard back behind the goal. Came out past Haley and now past Mueller.
I just bobbled over Mueller's stick. He was getting ready to move laterally across the blue line, and fortunately the puck wouldn't settle down for him.
So the Wild with 2 goals on 12 shots as Meyer puts it on net and Dubnyk with the save. Now Mueller to Pavelski, and that's on net. And another.
Those fortuitous breaks, if you will, because Zach Parise does a lot what Joe Pavelski does. Just heads to the net, 2 hands on his stick. He's ready for it if it comes to him. It does, and he puts it home.
Back comes Minnesota. Stewart trying to send Coyle in.
Net and the top line for the Minnesota Wild capitalized for their 3rd goal of the game.
Only the 5th time this year the Sharks have been involved in a game where more than 6 combined goals were scored. It's 4-3, a 7-goal night. And there's a long way to go. Still 14.5 minutes. Stahl's second of the game, 13th of the season from Parise at 5:06 as Parise has a 3-point of Braun and Vlasic, because Vlasic's hurt. And as Boudreau said today, as an opponent, if it's just a game or 2, everybody else makes up. Here's Coyle, and Jones with a huge save off Charlie Coyle, who tried to tie. Now Pavelski dropped it for Meyer. Thornton ends up with it. Comes back out to Mueller and Burns. Burns hands it right back. And Graovac can't advance it. Here's Couture.
Puck movement in the offensive zone.
And for a Sharks team that rarely gets to 4 goals, they're now going to need a 5th just to get a point in this game. Coyle, watched by Mueller. Coyle gets away. Coyle takes a shot, and Jones a stick save. Mueller back after it. This time he beats Coyle to the puck and skates away with it. Couture, and he lost it at center. Rebound got by Pavelski. Here's Parise with Stahl. 2-on-2. Stahl to the wing, poked away by the back-checking Pavelski. Niederreiter sets up, has a little time, finds Stahl open. He'll slap one that's blocked by DeMello. Stahl again, missed it, but Niederreiter's there. Now they tie it up. DeMello pokes it loose, but it comes to Spurgeon at the point. And Suter. And into the glove of Martin Jones, who holds.
These guys can skate. Very mobile defenseman. And Ryan Suter, he's been up in the play offensively a lot more in this third period than he was in the first two.
DeMello will send it in from center. Sharks tag up. And now Suter from behind his net.
Suter tied for second in the NHL in time on ice per game coming in tonight, tied with Drew Doughty. Just over 27 minutes a game.
Mueller fights it a bit, and it ends up back to Minnesota. Coyle. And it's flipped ahead by Grayovac. 5:40 to go. Wingles short-handed right there.
Well, Jones didn't know where it went, and I think that kind of fooled the forwards from Minnesota. They were looking for the puck. Meanwhile, Sharks were kind of went on a truncated 3-on-2. Good scoring chance at the other end.
Spurgeon chased by Meyer, leaves it for Brodin. Now a minute left on the power play, 2:19 on the game clock. And they're offside. Niederreiter just a half stride ahead.
It looked like they had a 3-on-2. Good job by Braun recognizing the situation and jumping up, getting that shot towards the net.
This is also a situation where the face-off domination by Minnesota really comes into play. Sharks need the puck, even if they're short-handed.